Hey, it's the Mad Master here. Here's time for another political video. Um, so, what do I think about the campaign from Coke as far as try to be less white? To quote an actual racist person, let's find out. Uh, so, I think it's a travesty and a tragedy that today we're having these corporations that are ostensibly built upon 300 years of systemic racism and colonialism in the United States. Basically, a country built in part, at least a huge part, by slaves from Africa. That the gall of these corporations to use these slogans, try to be less white, all this stuff, for them to use these things to sell a product is just disgusting. And the irony that people haven't thought about with Coke, and I've always been a Pepsi person. I do like vanilla Coke and cherry Coke for some reason. Like those two flavors go together pretty well. I really like. There's this place in the Midwest called Rocky Rococo's Pizza, and my favorite thing to eat with or drink with Rocky Rococo's has always been cherry Coke. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just some kind of childhood memory, but I'm not really a fan of Coke. I drink Pepsi more than anything. Of course, it's like choosing the two political parties. It's like they're both colas. Uh, Coke versus Pepsi. What about RC? Oh wait, what about Fago? I don't know, but it's all stupid. But yeah, the Coke thing's so ridiculous, and the gall that they have in this woke corporatism, which I'll be doing more videos about for sure, is such a fraud and a sham and a grift and a scam that it should be called out as bullshit by anybody. So, in regards to the irony about this is that we have these two uh, differing narratives about what racism is, and the irony about this is that this whole by the old dictionary definition, which I was told by a certain person that I used to live with, that well, that's not the definition of racism anymore. In one of our many ideological battles. Um, the irony of these new definitions is that they're of non-racism. These things will say try to be less white, is that you're ascribing actual racial characteristics to a group of people, and that is in itself racist. It's trying to say there's white, there's black, all these things. There's differences, biologically or otherwise. That is the textbook old school definition of racism. And that's the irony about these campaigns, try to be less white. It's like, and I understand the inclusion thing, the want people wanting to include people and all that, but it's such a sham because these companies, oftentimes they'll do business with foreign governments that have, instant more institutional racism than a lot of places in the United States. Like or they're more oppressive governments. Like I know there was in the '90s there was this huge thing with Burma and Pepsi, and it was like boycott Pepsi. We were talking about that in high school, and some people did actually boycott Pepsi. I think I don't know if I did for a while or not, but people were bashing it back then too. But it's just like these huge corporations are the last people to talk about, should be the last people to listen to about racial politics or anything like that. That's why it's a sham, it's a grift, it's a fraud. A lot of these ideas. I mean, I've said it once and I'll say it again that I knew that Mitt Romney was participating in Black Lives Matter, I knew that there was a very fraudulent element of those protests or their organizations uh, implementing those. So, in conclusion, I think the Coke thing is obviously a lot of controversy. It might sell some Cokes because, as Ryan Holiday has said in Trust Me, I'm Lying, his classic book from years back, oftentimes these PR campaigns can use the controversy as a catapult to sell commercial product, and that's what's happened. I don't know if that's what's happened here, but of course that's a strategy for people in power and who want money to do, and that's a fact that people don't talk about too often. You know, these, I mean, I look at like these sex tapes from celebrities. It's like, oh, we accidentally released it. Yeah, bullshit. A lot of times they've been found to actually have released them on purpose, you know, to cause controversy and get their name in the public eye. Even though they'd be saying, no, I don't know how that happened, how that leaked out. You know, so it's bullshit. And it should be called out and it should be made fun of because it's stupid. You're saying essentially that there are inborn characteristics that separate racial groups by saying be less white, be whatever, and that's a bunch of bullshit. That's about all.